One thing queer, one thing queer, one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer.
Hello and welcome to One Thing Queer. My name's Jenny Baton and my pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Kelsey Wren and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, friend.
Hello.
What's up? Oh my god.
I'm so tired.
This is has anybody felt this heavy energy?
This Mercury dude, I did it again.
It's fine.
I can't. This is exactly it. The Mercury retrograde. I cannot say. I keep saying Mercury because I'm that tired.
It feels like Mercury. I'm just like, so this episode is basically us just venting about how horrendous this Mercury retrograde has been for all of us.
Shooting the shit.
Series of events.
Chilling. We're going to double record just so we don't have to take another break. Also,
yeah.
Please bear with us.
And disclaimer, I'm not editing anything from either this episode or the next. So if we fumble and bumble, that is way too bad. So sad. We are exhausted.
It's been a fucking week for sure.
It's been a week.
Okay. Well, I guess shooting the shit and Mercury retrograde goes into it. I had to slow it down.
Yeah.
Goes into it because that's why this last week kind of, I don't know, sucks is a weird word. It was just a long week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was eternal.
Eternal is exactly right.
I mean, it doesn't even feel like it's ended and it's Monday. We're recording this before it comes out, like a day before it comes out.
It comes out in like 8 hours.
Yeah, it comes out in 8 hours and
Ish.
we're recording. So when you're listening to this, if you're listening to it on Tuesday, we're literally recording it hours before.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not editing shit.
Yeah. I try to control my cough sometimes too when we record, and I have a nervous cough because I'm so stressed out that, like, I'm sorry if y'all hear my little because it's my nervous system's shot.
Yeah, the throat chakra starts to
A little bit.
do its thing.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
I have a little raspy because it just, I don't know.
That's
But
okay, friend. So I think you should start.
me start?
Yes.
Well, okay.
Well, okay.
Okay. I can't even remember where we left off. Okay, so we recorded Maya's episode, right? Mm-hmm. Thank you, Maya, for coming on the episode. That was great.
Thank you so much.
And then that weekend, I guess I worked. I can't even remember what day that was, to be real.
It feels like years ago.
Anyways, so last Monday, we started off the week great. We went to the beach. We went to Huntington.
That's fun, friend.
It was really nice. It was nice to get away, and it was cool. We got to sit on the beach. It was a great, like, kind of gloomy day. It wasn't all super hot.
That's good.
The water wasn't freezing. It was nice, and we, like, ate there. We got mestiza in the morning, which was so good.
That's cute.
Ooh, we got mestiza. Oh, and they gave us, okay, shout out to Mestiza's ham and cheese croissants. Oh, fire. I know you don't eat pork, but they're, like, bomb.
I mean,
they gave us these big fat ones too, so they were like, that's how good they were. As I remember.
I believe it. I believe it.
They were so good. So we got that in the morning, and then went to the beach, and we ate at Sancho's Tacos. That place was dope too. They have.
Where is that?
It's off of this.
It's in Huntington?
Yeah, it's in Huntington. So, like, you know, like the main street that has all the shops. It's a little, like, a block west of there.
Oh, okay.
It's like walking distance. It's super easy to get to. It's really good. They're really cool. You can eat outside. It's like a chill vibe kind of thing. It's really good. Highly recommend. So yeah, that was great. And then, so Wednesday night, Bernie went running and he rolled his ankle. And we thought it was fine, but he said every time he he didn't like hurt. It wasn't swollen or anything. It wasn't bruised, but he said every time he tried to get up and put pressure on it, he was like in serious pain. And he doesn't really take painkillers or anything. So when he asks for a painkiller, I know that, like, oh shit, this hurts.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I don't care. We're not editing. No edits.
No edits.
So yeah, so that night he was trying to find it, like trying to walk on it. And every time he walked it, he's like, oh my God, it really freaking hurts. I'm like, okay, well, stop walking on it. And we iced it that night. And we went to work the next morning, and he kept trying, and he just kind of stayed in his office. And throughout the day, he's like, I think I need to go to urgent care because I really like can't put pressure on it. And we're like, okay. So after work that day, we went, they took x-rays, and he didn't hurt his ankle. He like fractured a little, like he fractured a bone in his foot, like the side of your foot below your pinky.
Yeah.
He like, it's a small little like half-inch like crack there. So he did fracture his foot. So yeah,
Horrible.
He's fine. Other than that, he just hates, they like gave him a splint, and they're gonna check in a week or so.
Put a splint on a fire sign.
I know,
he's a no-go.
He's miserable, and it sucks to like see him so miserable in it, and I'm sure it looks hella uncomfortable, and I know he hates using the crutches, and I know he hates asking for help, or he hates that like I'm kind of doing a lot of extra stuff now that we both share, but I'm doing it now because he can't move, which is fine, but I know he hates that I have to do that too. So yeah, so that happened, and I don't know, we've just been working every day, which sounds weird to complain about work, but it's just also like exhausting to do that and then come home and kind of do everything also. So it's just been, and like work has been that we used to get out like 2 or get out at like 1. It was like super easy days, but they gave us a lot of extra stuff, and we're there till like 4 some days.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, dude, this is so long. And like 4 when we get there at 6:30, which is like,
that's a long day.
It's a long freaking day.
That's a very long day.
So long, but yeah, so that's what we've been doing ever since, is working.
And you're all bruised up.
Dude, I burned myself there too, so that was fun. I'm bruised everywhere, like because we don't want to be stuck there till 4. A lot of us work fast, so we try to like do it, and you don't really are particularly safe when you work fast like that. Plus, the Mercury retrograde is messing with our communication. I keep tripping, and like I keep hurting myself, and like you said, I'm freaking bruised everywhere, and it's just he rolled his ankle. Like it's been a week, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just tired.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all that's been happening. And just like, I think too, like even communication wise, like when it happened, we were both kind of like, we didn't have time to like process, because the next day we had to get up and go to work.
Yeah.
And again, like he's a boss, so like he couldn't like stop and take a day off and like figure it out.
Yeah.
So it was just that, like just kind of surviving. And today was the first day since we were off. We got to like, okay, how are we going to do this process? Try to make sure he's able to work, because he goes nuts. He goes nuts in the office, like any fire sign does, I think.
Yeah. If you keep a fire sign pent up, it'll...
He's not an office work type of person either. Like not at all.
He's very hands-on.
Yes, he hates it. So we figured out a way though, so that's good. But today was the first day we got to like, whew, and like, okay,
relax,
let's figure this out.
Yeah.
So hopefully the doctor's appointment goes good, and he doesn't have to be in it for that long, or he could switch to like a boot instead of the like splint thingy, because I know it's driving him crazy. It sucks. So yeah, but that was our week. How was your week?
Jesus. I don't even
Where do you start?
I don't know where to start. Well, I worked my 7th day of work yesterday. I had 4 particular days that I had like 10 to 12 hour days on set. And on Friday was like my last on-set day, and I went to Joshua Tree. So my plan was, I didn't want to drive my little car, because I drive a very small car that has a lot of miles on it, all the way to Joshua Tree, because I find that most Airbnbs now don't have pavement. So I asked my dad if I could borrow his truck. So I went to my mom's early in the morning to pick up the truck. And so I go to work, and just, driving from where my mom lives to Joshua Tree is like about an hour and a half. And then I went to work and worked. And while I was at work, we were also like driving around, because we were trying to find like locations to shoot. Mm-hmm. And so my dad has a V8, like it's a 4x4 truck. So I spent a lot of money on gas.
I bet.
Just like using it in Joshua Tree. So anyways, nonetheless, I finished work, and the people that I was working for asked me if I could drive 2 of the models home back to LA, because they were going to stay. And so I agreed. They said they would pay me gas. So my plan was to go drop off my dad's truck and then pick up my car. So I went to my mom's to pick up my car and it wouldn't start. And it's been like a couple weeks that my car's been kind of giving me like lights. And I took it to the mechanic and they said it was fine. So I was like, okay, whatever. And so yeah, I like go to pick it up. It won't start. And so I'm like, fuck it. I guess I'm going to have to take the truck. So I take the truck. And then yesterday I had to drive to Santa Barbara to do a wedding. So I ended up spending like $230 from Friday to Sunday just in gas.
Barf.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And so that was horrible. So my plan was that today, Monday, I was going to come to my mom's and check on my car, call AAA and see if something was wrong with the battery. So I was like running errands all day. And then towards the end, AAA was taking forever to respond to me. I like contacted them earlier and like they wouldn't send anybody out. So then finally my mom had to call and they showed up at like 5 p.m. And right before they got there, I'm like, I'm going to see if like my car will turn on. I don't know. It was just like something told me. So I went to like go turn it on and it turns on.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, whatever, fuck it. I'll just see what's wrong with it when they get here. So yeah, everything was fine. So
That's good, but
it's good.
it sucks.
But I'm like, you can't tell me that's not Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
You know?
At least it wasn't that much gas plus paying for car repairs.
Yeah. And that's what I thought was going to happen.
We are finding the silver lining here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Because
I just realized that.
yeah. And then to top it off, I'm on my period. So it's just been an emotional roller coaster.
Same. I'm supposed to start mine tomorrow, so hopefully that happens.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think after seeing me, you might start it.
I think hopefully give me the period juju.
Yeah.
That would be great. I'm supposed to. So hopefully, but I don't feel like I am. I feel like I've been way too stressed last week. So I don't know. I hope it doesn't mess it up, but it might. We'll see. Or stupid Gatorade will.
Seriously. I'm so over it.
Yeah.
And we still have like a few weeks to go.
Yeah, I think Bernie said October 2nd or something would be over. I love that we mentioned it. And he's like, oh yeah, it's from this date to this date. I'm like, you would know.
I'm like, when does it end? And he's like, October 9th. I was like, oh. And he's like, oh wait, no.
Yeah, the 2nd or something. At least he's been having time. He has time. We bought astrology books a few weeks ago or months and months ago, and he hasn't had a chance to like crack them open. So now he does. So he's able to like read a lot more, and he's learning so much more. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And he's like, check this out. I read this thing. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. To like, no, he's so good with it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Have you found that you've been reflecting, because we kind of touched base on it when we were talking with him, that it's kind of forcing us to like look inwards? I feel like recently I've been questioning so much of what I'm doing in life. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in life. I think about the concept of like owning a home and how unattainable that seems. And then I also like start questioning my career path, because I'm gonna be like super, like, this is like super honest, but I really want to be signed to an agency. And I've been assisting, reputable makeup artists for years now. And I've been doing makeup for 11 years, and I would say I'm good. I'm very good. And at this point, I feel like I've paid my dues in the sense of assisting. I've assisted for huge brands, and this last week I assisted one of the makeup artists I work with, and I asked her, I was like, how do I go about, getting signed to an agency? Because I'm like, I feel like I'm like ready for that. And she was like, well, how many clients, like, brands do you work for that are your own? And I really only have one, which is Pattern Beauty. And I'm super grateful that I at least have one. But she's basically told me, like, the way they consider you is if you at least have like anywhere from like 3 to 6 of your own clients.
What do they mean by your own? Oh,
So-
you're like you got them yourselves?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
okay. Okay.
Like I get them myself, and like they pay me directly, and like so an agent will consider me if I already have like celebrity client or if I work with like a reputable big company.
Gotcha.
That's the only way they would consider me. And she's like, I know it's kind of backwards because the whole point of it agency is for them to send you work and find you work, but you have to have that under your belt. And I'm like, how do I even do that? I started to question it, and I'm like, I don't know, like that's been really bugging me emotionally, like, and mentally. I'm just like, I love what I do, but I feel like I don't have what I want because maybe I don't network enough, or I don't know if it has anything to do with being Latina. I don't know, because I'm like, I see like peers of mine that I worked with, and like, they're at the level that I feel like I deserve to be in. I don't know if that sounds super fucked up, but like, I find that that's what it is.
Yeah.
That I can't help but feel that way.
Yeah.
That I don't have the upper hand because I'm not white. And it sucks.
Yeah, totally.
So I've been like thinking about that, and it's been aching at me, and I've just been questioning what I want to do with my fucking life.
I mean, you're not alone. I feel the same way. I don't know if it's this, but I feel the same, everything, like the feelings, like my feelings. We were talking about it today because we went to go get like comfort food.
Yeah.
We do this thing too. We have dinner, which is lunch and dinner, like a big ass meal. So that way we don't eat dinner also, because like we just stuffed ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's something we really wanted to eat. So we went to go get that. And on the way there, we were talking about that I don't really have any water signs except for my Cancer rising. And I was like, because at first I was like, yeah, I don't have any water signs. I was like, why the fuck am I emotional then? And I was like, oh shit, I do have some. I do have one. And I was like, yeah, and like a Cancer, my emotions change. Like I have like 50 during the day. Like it really changes like hour to hour, and it's wild. But like they've been overdrive. I've been a lot more like sensitive, but like numb. Like I can't even like talk about it because like it's gonna be a floodgate. Because I've also been like, so this week was hard. So yeah.
I feel you, friend. And I think I only have one water placement too, and
Yeah.
it's in
It feels like
Cancer.
that. And then like also like I feel you with working too, because right now like this pays the bills, but I don't feel like it's what I'm like meant to do. I don't know what, but that's the thing too, is that, like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? Like this feels too. And maybe I don't know. I don't want to say it feels backwards, but it feels backwards. Like I feel like I've already paid my dues in this same thing, like in this area. And it's just like, I had to take a huge step back from my other job because of the way things are going right now. So I had to take a huge step back. So, but I still got to pay bills. So that's frustrating, that it's like, ugh. But I feel you. Like, I don't have the same thing with the house, obviously. But again, we got help with the house. So even it wouldn't have been attainable for us. We were just talking about this last night too, that like when we first moved out, when we were like, 21, 22, when we first got our first apartment, like I remember all of my brothers and like adults being like, oh, you just got to make like $60,000 a year and you're set. And like, okay, cool. So that was the goal, is to make something along that lines, and cool, we're set. But like, I see people who are doing that and still can't like afford anything right now. Like it's no longer an achievable thing to live like with one person working at that rate.
No.
And like having a stay-at-home person on top of that. Like
it's impossible.
It's like you need 3 people making that much in the household to be able to like survive. And
Absolutely.
It's crazy. And I keep thinking like anytime like we go to the grocery store, and I'm like, holy crap, like I totally, like it'll be like way more than I thought it was going to be. I'm like, we didn't even get anything though. Like like it's really like nothing's in here. What the hell? And it's because the prices obviously, but it's just so frustrating because it's like, dude, like you were like, how come I don't have any money? It's because everything is more expensive than it was however long ago.
Agreed. I literally had that thought in my mind today. I was just like, anybody who's making it or barely making it right now, like, It's like I don't even know how we are.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to live in America right now.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't realize how expensive, at least in California, like,
and it's draining. I mean, like, we're both talking about it, that like we're exhausted, like,
and we're working our
and-
asses off. It's still not
it's
enough.
still not enough. That's why it's this whole thing about like, oh, people don't want to work. Like, people don't want to be exploited. It's not that they don't want to work. People would love to work. They just don't want to be exploited. And we're working our asses off and being exhausted. Like, your day shouldn't be where you work all day and you come home, eat, and you go to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
or you like make dinner and go to sleep. Like, it's, I don't know. It's
That's
really,
not life.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. And that's, I don't know. It's, I find myself wanting my like freedom back, I guess. But, you know, gotta pay the bills. So you don't really get that anymore.
I'm
which-
right there with you. I feel the same.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I feel luckier because I get to work with my partner and like it's fun. And like, if there's not as many like dumb people being dumb there because, you know, he's the boss and they're not going to be dumb to me.
Yeah.
So it's more safe. It's a safer environment, I think. And he strives to make it a safe environment for everybody. So that's also good. Like, I feel very fortunate that like I'm not in some, you know, shitty office.
Big
like
company.
Yes, exactly. Like, and it's very accepting there. And like everybody's for the most part chill. Like there's no like, I don't know, there's no open fights or anything like that. So it's nice that I feel fortunate for that. And like, he's also understanding with everybody that if you're like, hey, I'm sick, I can't come. Like, he's very lenient with that kind of stuff. So that's nice too. So, because a lot of places, if you don't go in one day or ask for vacation, they take you off the schedule.
Yep.
Because they're pissed.
Or
And-
they write you off.
Yeah. It's,
We're living in a world where if you call in sick, they write you off.
yeah, it's
Or
insane.
write you up.
It's insane. We actually have a new employee coming soon. And like the reason they're leaving their old company is because they wanted to take a vacation. And like then they took them off the schedule, and like that's bonkers. And even at Vans, I remember that happening too forever ago. I remember that all the time. Like, oh, they want this day off. Okay, you're not working the next 2 weeks, which is like, what the fuck?
Yep.
That's so fucked up.
Oh yeah, when I worked at Mac, fuck you, Mac.
That's why I was like, should I have said Vans? Oh well.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I'm gonna say how it is. I worked at Mac for like a span of 5 years on and off, and people that worked there permanently had to work weekends, like no exception. And if you called off, you would get written up, or they would hold it against you. And yeah, it was the same situation. Fuck corporate America. Like,
Yeah.
I learned that when I worked for a salon and worked for like a smaller, like a mom and pop. But when you work for mom and pops, you realize like how fucked up corporations are.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, a mom and pop will like, you know, at least some of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say those could be exploitive also.
Yeah, they could be exploitive, but the chances are a little bit more likely for you to be able to have a little bit more balance in your life as to a corporation. A corporation just looks at you as like a machine.
Yeah.
That makes it money.
Definitely. That's what's too, like, that's what I think about too, is I'm like, okay, I got a pretty, like, it's hard work. Don't get me wrong. It's fucking hard work. I have so much more respect, like, because I'd be like, oh, you just went to work today. And now seeing, like, how hard the job is, I'm like, oh my God, like, I feel so bad that I'm like, oh, you've really been working your ass off this whole time. Like, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't even know where that's where my brain is at. I don't know where I was going with that. But, that's what I was gonna say. Feel fortunate that like have like that kind of security in that too, where it's not like
Like you're not.
I have some control over that a little bit, and like
Yeah.
I know with all the workers, he tries to like, if you're like, hey, this really hurts today, he'll like work with you to like put you somewhere that you're not using that part of your body or something to, you know, you don't hurt yourself further.
Yeah.
And like he'll be like, hey, don't do that because you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah. I
You know.
love that.
Yeah, and not a lot of places do that.
No.
I keep like, I'm trying not to cough everywhere. Anyways, but that's how the week's been. But we didn't want to.
A lot of reflection.
A lot of reflection. He was right. He was saying that. Bernie was saying that this Mercury retrograde is going to make you reflect a lot because there's so much going on, and literally too, like it feels really hard to form like a concise thought, and it's I don't know if it's because I'm so tired or because of Gatorade, but I feel like my brain is really all over the place, more than usual, to be real, because even when it's my Gemini moon's all over the place. There's a direction. It's going in a bunch of directions. There's no direction. It's just this thought, this thought, this thought. And it's sometimes they don't make sense and they don't connect.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The energy is so dense. Oh, I told you earlier, but I didn't tell them about my mom. Another thing that happened. And so today the gardener came to my mom's and he accidentally like broke my mom's passenger side window.
That's awful.
He was like with a weed whacker, I guess, and a rock kind of spun into the window and it like completely shattered.
Dude. I'm sorry.
If that ain't Mercury retrograde, I don't know what is.
I'm trying to think of electronics. Nothing electronic, just it's all been body stuff. Like I said, I keep tripping. I keep hurting myself. Like I'm pretty like a not a clumsy person usually. Like I don't usually like bump into things or trip.
No.
And it's been all the time. Like it's been this whole time.
You stand in your Capricorn normally, and right now you're standing in your Gemini.
Oh yeah, I'm all over the place, and I feel it. And I feel like it was funny because somebody at work was like, "Oh, do you have ADHD or something?" And I was like, "Fuck, I can focus like no one's fucking business. I know I don't have ADHD."
Yeah.
And I was like, "But I feel like I do right now." Because I can't focus, but normally I can focus. Like, you want me to read a book and write you a paper? I got you. Like, I can focus.
I can't.
But it's just like, dude, it's really everywhere.
I know. Last night when I came home from work, Anna went with me, or sorry, my partner, whatever. Anna went with me to work. My partner went with me to work, and we came home, and I was like, I just want to relax when I get home. My internet was down.
Oh.
So then I had to like fix it, and then I had to, where was I going with this? Oh, I was like, I want to relax after we fix that. And they were like, do you want to read? I'm like, no, I do not want to read. I can't read right now. I don't want to think. I do not want to think.
We've actually been watching it's not like a comfort show, but we've been watching Sons of Anarchy, which I've seen like 5 times through because I love that show. And one of the people at work was watching it, so I was like, oh shit, like I haven't tried it in a long time. And it's funny, I got a Snapchat memory that was like 3 years ago or something, and it was me recording Sons, and I was like, I guess I watched this in September. It was so funny, but we've been like watching it and like we've seen it, we know what happens, but we're like glued to the TV because it's something we don't really have to think about. We know what happens, but it's still such a good show that it's like intriguing enough to keep your attention.
Yeah.
We've just been barreling through that because I was like, I don't even want to like pay attention to anything else right now. I don't want to look at anything else. Like, this is enough stimulation right now. I just kind of want to lay on the couch.
Yeah.
And do nothing.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's the wrap.
Yeah. Shooting the shit.
Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, Gatorade.
Edition.
Yeah. Sure.
There you go. We hope it's not as bad for y'all.
We're sorry.
We're sorry, but we just had to talk about it.
It's hard too because it's struggling with we have an out. We can take a break, but I don't want to do that also because I feel like it's too much of an easy out, I think, for both of us. We're too us to not do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we just, we didn't want to take a break. So I was like, whatever. I think y'all like when we're real and
loopy.
I guess. I hope.
I hope so, yeah.
I hope so, because that's what you got today.
Yeah. And it might be the next one too. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I hope we'll get it together. Jesus Christ.
Let's just wrap.
Sure. All right. Sorry about this one, y'all. Please follow us on Instagram. It's One Thing Queer, and my personal Instagram is SpexRayX.
And my personal Instagram is at Jenny Lynn Bouton. And if you would like to follow us on TikTok, we are at One Thing Queer Podcast. And if you would like to share your story or come on the podcast, be a guest, please email us at onethingqueer@gmail.com.
All right. We'll see you next week, y'all.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Music by Jacody Lamone. Produced by Kelsey Wren and Jenny Bouton. Edited by Jenny Bouton.